All right, section 5.3, example 5a. This particular trig function is not something we have 1, 2, 3 terms. We have a single cosine and we have a sine squared. So this is a situation where I can't multiply, divide, add, subtract. I can't factor. So what I'm going to have to try to do is change this all in terms of one trig function. Well, sine squared is equal to 1 minus cosine squared, so I'm going to change that. So I have 1 minus the cosine of x equals 2 times, and this is equal to 1 minus cosine squared of x. So I'm going to distribute my 2. And now if you look, I have everything in terms of cosines. I have a squared, I have a first power cosine, so I'm going to bring everything over here so that I can factor this. It's going to look like a quadratic. So I've got 2 cosine squared of x minus the cosine of x, and when I subtract 2 from both sides, I get a minus 1. So this fits quadratic form. I have something squared, and I have that something to the first power. So 2 cosine of x times the cosine of x is going to give me 2 cosine squared of x. And then 1 times 1 will give me my 1. I have to figure out my signs. When I multiply the outside and the inside, I want them to add to a negative cosine. So that means that this one has to be negative and this one has to be positive. That'll give me a negative 2 cosine. That'll give me a positive 1 cosine, which will add to a negative cosine. Zero product property, I'm going to set these both equal to 0. So 2 cosine of x plus 1 equals 0. Or cosine of x minus 1 equals 0. So I'm going to subtract 1 and divide by 2. And I'm going to add 1. And then I need my trig values. So again, they're restricting it. It's from 0 to 2 pi. Cosine is negative in quadrants 2 and 3. So I've got 2 pi thirds and 4 pi thirds. And then cosine is 1 only at 0. And again, we're not including 2 pi on this one. So I have 3 potential solutions.